Good day, everyone. I am reporting about market instructor. Market instructor is the collection of factors that determine how buyers and sellers interact in a market, how prices change, and how different levels of the production and selling processes interact. Market instructor refers to the overall characteristics and conditions that define a market. It's like the foundations of a building influencing how the market operates and the functions. The diagram illustrates the key characteristics of a perfect competitive. Here's as a breakdown of each connections. 1. Many buyers, and sellers, in a perfectly competitive market. There are numerous small business competing with each other. No single firm has a significant market share, preventing any individual from exerting undue influence over prices or supply. Number two, identical products. All firms produce identical or homogeneous product, meaning there is no differentiation between the goods or service offered. This ensures that consumers have multiple options and can easily compare price quality. Number three, no artificial retreats. There are no barriers to entry or exit in a perfectly competitive market. Firms can freely enter or leave the market without facing significant obstacles such as government regulations or high startup costs. This allows for a constant flow of new businesses and prevents mono- monopolies from forming. Number 4, consumers with perfect information. Buyers in a perfectly competitive market have complete and accurate information about the market including prices, quality, and availability of goods and services. This enables consumers to make informed decisions and prevents firms from exploiting consumers with misleading information. Number 5. Free entry and exit. Firms can easily enter or exit the market without facing significant barriers. This ensures that profits are driven down to a normal level. As new firms enter the market, if existing firms are earning excessive profits, conversely, firms will exit the market, they are incurring losses. Connection to the equations. P for price equals marginal revenue or MR equals average revenue or ER. In a perfectly competitive market, firms are price takers, meaning they have no control over the market price and must accept the prevailing price determined by supply and demand. As a result, the firm's marginal revenue or MR is equal to its average revenue ER. And the market price, this is because each additional unit sold contributes the same amount to the firm's total revenue, regardless of the quantity sold. This equation highlights the fact that in a perfectly competitive market, firms have no market power and are unable to influence prices. They must simply produce and sell their goods and the prevailing market price in order to maximize their profits. So, in conclusion, perfect competition is a theoretical model where businesses have no control over prices and must compete with each other to sell their products. While it's rare to find a perfectly competitive market in the real world, understanding it can help us understand how markets work and how prices are set. Short run profit maximization, total revenue, total cost approach. This means that a business should produce at a level where the difference between the money it earns, total revenue, and the money it spends, total cost, and the largest. Marginal revenue, marginal cost approach. This means what a business should produce uh, to the point where the additional revenue from selling one more unit or marginal revenue is equal to additional cost of producing that unit marginal cost. Long run profit maximizations. In the long run, businesses can enter or exit the market. In a perfectly competitive market, a business will be in equilibrium when the long run marginal cost, the cost of producing one more unit in the long run, is equal to marginal revenue and price. In summary, both approaches aim to find production level that will maximize a business profits. The short run approach focuses on the immediate costs and revenues, while the long run approach considers the potential for new businesses to enter or leave the market.
Perfect competition. A perfect competition describes a market structure where a large number of small firms compete against each other. In this scenario, a single firm does not have any significant market power. As a result, the industry as a whole produces a socially optimal level of output because of none of these firms has the ability to influence market prices. The idea of perfect competition builds a number of assumptions, which is four. First is all firms maximize profits. Second is there is a free entry and free exit to the market. Third is all firms sell perfectly identical, which is homogeneous goods. Fourth, the last one, there are no consumer preferences. By looking at those assumptions, it becomes quite obvious that we hardly ever find perfect competition in reality. This is an important aspect because it is the only market structure that can theoretically result a socially optimal level of output. We have seen that perfectly competitive firms' marginal revenue curve is simply a horizontal line at the market price at its same line also at the firm's average revenue curve. For the perfectly competitive firm, MR equals P equals AR, the marginal revenue curve has another meaning as well. It is the demand curve facing a perfectly competitive P firm. More generally, price we can say that any perfect competition firm faces a horizontal demand curve at the market price. We saw an example of an horizontal demand curve in the module on elasticity. Such as a curve is perfectly elastic, meaning that any quantity is demanded at the given price.